going to get started with Coach Moore. And if you have a question, raise your hand. I'm going to do my best to make sure we call on everyone here that we can for about 10 minutes. We'll start in the middle with Jennifer. Did you have your hand raised?
Oh, I do. Well, just tell me what you saw from your blue team today, specifically your quarterback, number 19.
Thought overall the team played well. A couple of penalties that we got to clean up on both sides. But, all in all, I just wanted to see everybody have fun, injury-free football game, and that's what we got accomplished.
What did you see from Bryce?
Did well. Did well, made some really good throws, and had some things that we got to clean up and get better at. But he's a continual work in progress, and he's working his tail off to do it.
Brandon?
Coach Moore, what were some of the differences that you've seen between both your quarterbacks that make them so special?
Yeah, I mean, the competitive nature, but the relationship that they both have has been really cool to watch them in the spring compete against each other, but, root for each other at the same time. So that's been super fun to watch. And, both of them great kids, great character kids. And it's a battle that's going to go all the way to fall camp.
Start in the front, Chris.
With Hoffman, is that something you've been seeing from him this spring? I was kind of surprised that we're here.
Yeah, no, Jalen has really picked up his game, and he's really changed his body, done different things. I think he's about 245, 250 pounds, and a super athletic kid with really, great ball skills and hands, and the guy we definitely look forward to watching in the season.
In the offensive line, obviously they were split up today, but what have you seen from them this spring that gives you confidence?
Yeah, I mean, I think the biggest piece is that they get challenged by that defensive line every day, and I think our D line is going to be really deep. And it's always different in the spring games because everybody's split up and there's different combinations of people, and there's ones playing with twos, and twos playing with ones, and threes playing with twos, so you don't get really caught up in that. But I've seen them progress. I think Coach Newsom's done an unbelievable job with that group, and they've really fought every practice, and you can see them getting better and better.
In the front left here, Isaiah.
I was actually going to ask about the split squad. How do you kind of evaluate in a game like this when you have the group split up between the receivers and obviously the line and all that?
Yeah, just more individual battles that you're really looking at versus the whole team because it's just different. And but it was fun to watch. You can watch guys compete and some guys get their first action in a big stage. And thank you for you guys. Thank you for the crowd. That was an outstanding show out and turnout. I don't know what the number was, but probably as good as we've had in the last 4 years. So that was exciting for the young guys.
In front left, Austin.
Sharon, did you know coming into spring that you wouldn't have Mikey Keene, or was that kind of a curveball for you guys this spring?
Right before the spring, that kind of came upon us. So handle it, and he's doing well now. He's throwing, he's in a good place, and just didn't felt like pushing it to end the spring that way. So he's in a great place. I did a study about guys who's played the most college snaps in football, and he's played like 2,228 snaps of college football. So he's okay to miss the spring. He'll be all right.
Front right, Steve.
Haynes and Marshall have developed a tight bond pretty quickly. Talk about them off the field and on the field, and how excited you are about what they're going to bring in.
Yeah, really excited. You saw the little flash of Justice Haynes when he bounced that one to the left, and he's a guy that's got home run speed and ability, but he's been a great leader, a guy that's obviously came from a different program in Alabama, and he showed us his, what he's done, and Jordan, he just worked his tail off and tried to emulate him as much as he can. So it's been a great combination, and they've pushed guys like Bryce Underwood, who's been out there, who ran really well today, who we really feel highly about, and Mikey Cabana. So, I think we got a good room, and we'll continue to push it and drive to get the best guys in there.
On the right hand side, Aaron.
You guys only have 2 healthy quarterbacks out there. Could you look to add someone this offseason there?
We're looking at, we'll look at different options and what we need to do. We've got Chase Herbstreit coming in this summer, as well. So, we'll have Mikey, evaluate, see where Davis is, but we'll see, what that situation looks like.
What did you see from Jaden this spring?
Yeah, he got better. He progressed and did things. Every single day he got better, and really, Bryce made him better, and he made Bryce better. So that was cool to watch throughout the spring, and just the temperament that he had and the relationship. It was really cool to watch 2 guys compete every day, and just after every throw, they dap each other up and high five each other, and pick each other up when one of them made a mistake or celebrate each other's good. So it's been fun to see.
In the front, Tony.
Jordan Marshall was talking about one of the things he's like most this spring is more of the deep shots and not running into as many 8, 9, 10-man boxes. Is that something you've seen as well, and does that excite you for passing offense?
Part of the reason I brought Chip in, so it's been fun. It's we've created some shots and created some different pass concepts to help us in that, and we'll continue to do that. It's not like the offense isn't just put together right now. They're the whole summer to evaluate and see and do what we need to do to go win the game. So, but it's been fun. It's been a fun spring, and the receivers have gotten better, which has helped.
In the back middle, Joel.
Being the quarterback at Michigan, that's asking a lot of somebody, especially guys who are so young. To have Davis Warren in the room, where do you see value in that?
It's huge. You know, a guy that's done it. He did it here last year and obviously won one of the biggest games here. You know, going down south and win that game, and it's huge to have him. It's huge to have a guy like Mikey Keene, who's done it at so many places and done it at a really high level. So those guys have been awesome for the young guys, supporting those guys and pushing them in a positive way. And it's been fun to watch the whole crew.
Clayton.
What depth guys in the defensive backfield and the defensive line stood out to you either today or just spring in general?
Yeah, I mean, I could be here for a while talking about that. I mean, you just talk about the whole defensive line. I feel like there's 10 guys that can play. The guy that stood out today was Dom Nichols. You know, every day it's trying to figure out ways to block him, and TJ and Derek and Cam Brand. You know, up front it's Trey, it's Rayshon Benny, it's Ike, it's Trey Pierce, it's Enoetta. So it's a group of guys that have been really fun to watch and watch them evaluate and push each other. So that's been really good too. And then the back end, it's a slew of guys as well. But to watch a guy like Mason Curtis fly around, you know, 6'5" safety that can run, that can move and flip his hips has been cool. And Brandon Hillman has really taken the next step to be one of those dynamic players in college football. I'm excited for him.
Got time for about 5 more people I have on my list. Will Joe? Start with you.
Has anything that Bryce done, you knew what you were getting when he came in, has anything about him surprised you in any way, positively, negatively, in any way?
No, nothing's really surprising. I kind of had a good beat on how he would be and the work ethic. You know, he told me, you know, he's a night owl, and that's true. So I try to get him to sleep more, but because he's in the building a lot and he's doing a lot to get better. So, but he's, you know, and nothing surprised me in the way he carries himself and what he does. Just knowing his family, his mom and dad, Jay and Beverly, just done an outstanding job raising the young man, and it's been awesome to have him around.
Ryan.
Obviously, the transfer portal a big part of college football now. What are you looking to maybe add this during the spring window to bolster the team before the fall?
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. You know, we'll evaluate this film and see where we need to go. So there's always pieces that we'll look at, but they've always got to be a right fit. You know, so the exact place and exact people, not really. You know, we have a number on that, but we'll see where that goes after we look through after the tape.
And who's your spring game MVP?
Oh, I don't know. To go, probably Jalen Hoffman. You know, probably Jalen Hoffman. But blue team will go to Texas State Brazil on Monday. May's team, tough.
In the front there, Larry.
I'm going to Texas.
You get to go.
He was switching.
That's right. I'll switch away.
Sharon, with Bryce, in what ways have you seen him grow the most since he's been here since December, and how valuable has it been that he was able to, you know, be with the team and practice and start school?
I mean, probably the biggest piece is just the knowledge of knowing where he's going, what's going on, his teammates, and watching the other teammates grow towards him, because you come in with a guy that's such highly ranked and highly touted so easily for a lot of guys to deflect and not want him to be a part of the team, and they've just embraced him like they embrace everybody else, and he's embraced the team, and you know, he's very humble, very selfless, you know. So it's that's been probably the biggest thing to watch. And then from the football standpoint, there's a countless number of things that you've watched and seen, you know, the knowledge of the playbook and things like that. So there'll be continuous process as we go into the summer.
In the white sweater in the middle.
Yeah, Strone, when we were talking to Jordan Marshall, he mentioned multiple times that this defense is going to be the best one that they're going to see, the offense is going to see. What kind of impact does that have on the offense, and can it even be discouraging at times just because of how dominant that unit can be?
I mean, I think mentally at some point in practice you get a little tired of those guys coming off the edge, and Jay Sean Barham and Ernie and all those, you know, different angles and the way they can attack you. So for sure, but I think ultimately they know it's going to make them better, and it has made them better already. So it's been fun to watch the competitive nature of both sides, and it's really made the offense, you know, take it up to the next level. And usually the defense is usually ahead of the offense, just in general. And but they've really taken the steps necessary, I think, to be an explosive offense. I think I look forward to it.
Before Angelique asks her last question, I'll give you the estimate is about 40 to 45,000 people. So
Nice.
a bunch of you guys asked about fans, but a bunch of us estimated around 40 to 45. So Angelique, you get the last question.
Well, it's two.
Shocking.
Do you have, right now, have you started, what was your starting five, the offensive line?
I don't know. I'd be on it because we've been circulating guys through. So on purpose to know that we're going to go into fall camp and have a starting five at some point. So there's not really a solid starting five. I know that Gio El Hadi would be a starter. Crip would probably be a starter, and Andrew Sprague. You know, and then there'd be a rotation. There could be Brady Norton, could be Andrew Avalola, could be Nathan Defoe, could be Evan Link in different spots. So yeah, it's gonna be fun to watch these guys in the summertime and watch them through fall camp to see who the starting five are.
And as far as Mikey, I mean, has he grasped the playbook? Has he had the time not participating? Is that what his goal
Yeah, I mean, I go in those quarterback meeting rooms and he's like a coach. You know, he's run a lot of the stuff that Chip's done before. So that's been cool to watch him teach those young guys and, you know, his thought process. But he's just played football for so much in college football, and he got a pretty good grasp on how to execute our playbook.
All right, thanks everyone.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Did you call that last play?
Huh?
Did you call that last play?
No comment.
Time, 2:40.